Hi, this is Adam Kline. I'm here again for my weekly report to the voters of the 37th District. We're voting on the floor these days. We're not in our offices. And so I'm here in the Democratic caucus room, and I just thought I'd give you a little view of what the Democrats' caucus room looks like. It's the majority caucus room. There are two bills that I'd like to talk to the voters about, both of which just passed the Senate. The first of these is a bill that I know bicyclists in the Seattle area and elsewhere are really going to appreciate, and that's Senate Bill 5326, better known as the bill protecting vulnerable users of the highway. It makes it negligent driving second degree plus. Neg driving second is already on the books. This adds the plus. If in the course of negligently driving, a driver kills or creates serious bodily injury or substantial bodily injury to a pedestrian, bicyclist, or the user of a wheelchair, there's an additional fine and an additional penalty. The fine, depending on where the city council or county council puts it, can be up to $5,000. This replaces what had been a ticket for simply $250. In addition to the civil liability, which is always there, which this bill doesn't affect. The fact is that a lot of people have been dismayed when they see that somebody on a bike has been killed by a negligent or drunk driver, and the person gets away with only a fine. If it's a drunk driver, believe me, it's vehicular homicide or vehicular assault, excuse me. But if it's a simply negligent driver, ordinary negligence is civilly liable. If it rises to the level of gross negligence, we put a $250 fine on it already. This bill goes further. The fine, if the city council or county council so desires, goes up to $5,000. In the event that somebody is low income and can't afford $5,000, they can work it off at the same rate as the minimum wage. But the idea is to put a little extra oomph in this and protect bicyclists and pedestrians at a time when we're asking more people to bike to work or to walk to work or take transit, which they need to walk to. We're asking people to walk and to bike, which is a healthy thing. The law should protect them when they do that. Another bill, a little bit more esoteric, the lawyers will like this, driving while license suspended, third degree. We somewhat jokingly refer to that as driving while poor. You're not able to pay your fines. Your license is suspended. You need to drive anyway, and so you do, and now you're caught. Your license is suspended, so you got a problem here, and you can't get it back because the fines are too high. This is something that has always affected low-income people. It's a cycle of getting caught and driving anyway and getting caught again, and fines build and build and build. Some years ago, we required the muni courts and district courts to have a pay window, just like a lot of places do, where you could pay on your fines. You can do it by mail, too. And the idea is that you should be able to pay down your fines in a way that makes sense. We're not talking about drunk drivers here. If you're driving drunk and your license is suspended and you drive anyway, that's driving while license suspended first degree. We're not talking about people who commit crimes with their cars. If you commit a vehicular assault and you drive anyway and your license is suspended and you get caught, that's driving while license second degree. Driving while license third is you simply failed to pay your fines. Now, what we did with this bill is allow the prosecutors to identify the real scofflaws, the people who could afford to pay them, but they just aren't. They got their thumb in the eye of the prosecutors and they don't care. Those people should be prosecuted. The people who simply don't have the money, and that's about 80% of the people who are charged with this crime, what we simply do is require the prosecutor to notify them, to dog them a little bit on their getting to the pay window, make sure the fines are paid, their license is returned. The 20% can be prosecuted and still will be. And believe it or not, in a gross misdemeanor or simply misdemeanor, they can have some jail time. Those are the people who are simply sticking it to the prosecutor by not paying their fines, okay? Those are two bills that are both my bills. They're out of the Senate now, they're over in the House. There's a third bill, and it's Senator Prentice's bill, but it came through the Judiciary Committee, which I chair, and I have played something of a role in getting this done. I call it 364. It's the bill that, and it's Senate Bill 5168, that takes the gross misdemeanor maximum sentence, which has been 365 days, and turns that to 364 days. There's a reason for that. Federal law, and this is a law that defines people who are subject to deportation, is any non-documented immigrant who commits a crime punishable by 365 days or more, a felony, under federal law. This is a gross misdemeanor, though, under state law. By calling it 364 instead of 365, we save these people deportation. Let's face it, documented or not, immigrants are a major, vital force in the 37th District and all across the state. I don't believe that somebody who commits a crime that is not what we call a felony should be subject to federal deportation, and so we save them that. That's what these bills are about, and I hope that these bills, all three of them, do some real good for the residents of the 37th District. Thank you.